Brad, we need to give a big congratulations to Sean. Tottenham Hotspurs, they finally did it. They finally broke the goose egg. I have a direct quote from Tottenham Hotspur's Twitter. A huge congratulations to our grounds team. We have won the prestigious Premier League Grounds Team of the Season award for 21-22. It's over. The trophy drought is over. Congratulations, Sean. How do you feel?
Hey, put it right next to the Audi Cup, baby. Put it right next to the Audi Cup.
I think that's bigger than the Audi Cup. It might need its own cage, its own shelf.
This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever you're listening from. Thanks for tuning in. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from three friends who support different clubs. My name is James. I support Arsenal. With me tonight is Brad. He supports Chelsea. And then down below, that's Sean. He supports Tottenham, the newly crowned best grass in the Premier League. It's great.
Hey, the best grass $1.4 billion can buy you, baby.
Oh, actually, I remember, wasn't this on the Spurs All or Nothing, how they like roll the pitch away? But then when they roll the pitch away, it's like in the ground, it's in like the car park, but they have like lamps that just like shine on the grass to give it fake sunlight.
And they send out the
robot,
the NFL field.
Oh, well,
yeah.
Well, the NFL field isn't it underneath? Isn't the NFL field just underneath?
Yeah, they come like it rises, I think.
Yeah, Arizona Stadium for football is like that too, because they have a real grass stadium indoors. But if you left real grass outside all day in Arizona, it would quickly turn to brown.
Yeah.
So what they'll do is they'll roll it outside for a couple hours and then put it back inside and water it, and that's how they keep it out there. So it's a very similar situation, except in London you kind of run out of room because they're just in a desert out there. They're in the outskirts of Phoenix somewhere.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean, how do you feel about sharing the NFL with Bayern this year?
Go on.
All the Tottenham revenue. Tottenham's not getting all of that revenue from the NFL this year. They're only getting 3 games out of the 5.
No, they're actually only getting 2 games out of the 5 because the third game in London is at Wembley.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not bad. Then how do you feel about sharing with the FA? FA trying to get all that sweet capital.
I mean, to be fair, Wembley used to host the NFL
when
games
that agreement.
Before.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure when that agreement went into place, they only said we were getting 2 games, so we're getting exactly what they told us we were getting.
Exactly. So
they just didn't tell us they were planning some shit with Germany.
Yeah,
on the backside.
Germany seems like we can get into that later, but it seems like a strange location for American football.
Oh snap! Your Packers are going there.
It's a quick. They are. It's a quick answer. When NFL Europe was a thing, Germans also liked it. They took to it just like English did. So it was a natural progression. If it's succeeding in England, you might as well take it to Germany because they also were good at it. Then they were good at it too, because I believe there was a German tight end from NFL Europe when that folded that came over and played a year or two in the NFL. And they seem to enjoy it. So it was a natural progression to take it to Berlin next.
Well, it seems like any sport where you just get to drink a lot of beer as a fan and scream obscenities and cheer would be great for the Germans. So
perfect.
Yeah.
But what we've got on offer for all of you tonight, we're going to hit those comments from last week before we talk about the Premier League action that took place last week up through today, honestly. Lots of games coming at us. And then we're going to end where we're going to preview match week 37 that's coming up. Starting, I guess we're technically, I think legally in match week 37 right now, but whatever. Got some makeup games, some games that we need to take place this week. The Chelsea game and the, who's that other team? Liverpool, because they've got the FA Cup final this weekend. Preview that coming up on Saturday. So we got lots to talk about tonight. But first we're going to hit these comments. Actually, first, before, go for it, Brad. What were you going to say?
Hey, first, before we get into any of these comments, we need to
Shameless
like,
plug.
subscribe.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, subscribe, hit the bell, give
Yep.
us that 5-star review on Apple iTunes, give us a thumbs up on Spotify would be awesome. And if they don't, Sean, what could happen?
What might befall them? If you don't like, subscribe, rate, review, 5-star, and all of the above is what might happen. Is you might forget to come up with your mild inconvenience of the week.
2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row,
Yeah.
you're just gonna get
Oh,
forgetful.
no, it's many more weeks in a row. Just the other ones I came up with one on the fly. However, I'm accessing the database, see if I can pull something. I actually did have one. When we started the pod, I started scrolling and looking about inconvenient things. And the best I could come up with was something I saw over the past week or two in baseball, where a runner was the pitcher attempted a pickoff play back at first, and the guy didn't need to slide and just steps his left foot back towards the base, and is looking away, obviously, because you turn away when you do that, so it doesn't hit you in the face, just in case it's high. However, it hit him in his other head,
Ooh.
and his leg was, open because he's stretching back to get to the base. So all the bits and pieces, there was no deflection.
I think
Deflection on its destination.
my understanding was in baseball you call that a cup check.
Well, even from experience, even when you're wearing a cup, it does not feel great.
Oh no, I umpired I umpired baseball for like 8 years, 10 years when I was like I umpired like Little League baseball for 10 years. So yeah, I'm right there with you. But
It doesn't feel awesome. No. It's better than the alternative,
certainly.
But you could be that guy in Major League Baseball that had an unfortunate situation going back to first.
It's not like you can throw at the pitcher. Like you can't like get him back when he comes up to bat because
you can't even throw it back. I just fell over. First baseman felt awful because he missed the catch. Just everybody in the situation, the pitcher, the ump, the first baseman, everyone feels bad. I'm sorry. Take as much time as you need.
I'm taking the night off. What are you talking about? Get me out of here.
Right? No, bring the pitch runner.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Out of here.
Give me the gurney. I'm not getting up.
Yeah, I'm milking this for sure. All right, I might take like a
week.
Might take a week off. Put me on the disabled list. So comments. So Jimmy hit us up. He's got this first comment is for you, Turfmore Sean. It says, without question, Turfmore Sean, Burnley is the best team in the Premier League. I don't know how anyone could still question this. Leeds are going down. Right, Sean? You weren't.
Yes.
Were you listening? Or
yes. Yes, I was listening. Leeds are going down because fucking Burnley's staying up.
I mean, it looks good.
It
looks good for Burnley.
No, I got rattled because I looked over and somehow. Oh, I know what I did. Helping put down the rundown. I looked over at where my EPL standing normally is. I popped it out so they were on two different screens, so I looked over to not see the standings. Leeds are going down because Burnley's staying up. We got a what's that? Like quick math. That's
quick maths.
18. Yeah, 18 goal differential lead.
Oh yeah.
Even on points, even on games, we got this, Burnley. Come on.
I mean, let's just look at this weekend. Burnley plays Spurs on Sunday, and Leeds play Chelsea.
That's so. Okay. We already proved that doesn't matter.
I guess Leeds also play Brighton.
Probably.
So coming up this week, I don't know.
Probably both taking L's.
I mean,
18 goal differential in the pocket. Let's go.
So, can we talk about how Everton went from 9% to a 9% from what, like a 60% 2 weeks ago?
Are you talking about on 538?
Yeah, for their chances.
Well, that's because Everton beat Chelsea erroneously, and then Leeds got stomped by Arsenal.
Yeah. Leeds hasn't gotten a point in 3 weeks. Wow.
No, they're
Wow.
in free fall, and they don't have easy games coming up. But Sean, how are you going to take that on Sunday morning when it's your boys versus your boys? How I guess you probably just want to have a draw, share the points. Everyone's a little bit happy, right?
No. There's a 1A.
Okay, just check.
Is Burnley?
No.
Is Burnley your 1A now?
No, that's the 1B. That's the 1B, boys. More Sean. I might make an account.
Just a shitpost account. You should. And then Jimmy had another comment. I guess this is coming at you again, Sean, because he's taking De Bruyne over.
Bring it.
He's taking Kevin De Bruyne over.
Oh, Kulusevski.
Well, was it Kulusevski?
That was
or was it?
Yeah, because it's statistically It was statistically. I was proving that Kulusevski was better since he's only been in the Premier League for three months and almost has as good a stats as De Bruyne. But it was a kind of a troll topic because no one with eyeballs can watch a Man City game and say that De Bruyne is not the best player on that team.
You could probably make an argument that he's the best player in the league.
Probably, yes.
You could make that argument.
Kulusevski is not better than Kevin De Bruyne, but statistically is right there.
Now you did send me an inflammatory comment earlier today about Kulusevski and a certain Arsenal player, if we want to talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, we can do that one, but
we
I
will,
got one more
because that is absolutely right.
I want Jimmy's opinion on the other debate that we had in the group chat today.
I want Joel's opinion. I want Joel's opinion on that.
This is. We should just instead of doing a podcast, just scroll, just have like a live screen show of our chat, our group chat, because there's more crazy arguments that go on in there than on this podcast.
Facts. We'll transition eventually, but Will, who are you taking? Dybala or Kulusevski? Well, I need you to come flame your boy here who said Kulusevski is starting over Dybala in Tottenham. If Dybala comes to Tottenham.
Okay.
If we brought him over, he's not starting on Tottenham.
Yeah.
He's 5'6", 140 pounds.
Soaking wet.
It's gonna be 4 games. It's gonna be 4 games before Conte's like, this dude, get out of here.
So Brad,
ship him back to the Farmers League.
So I agree with Sean. So to give you guys some context, one of the conversations we had was about Paulo Dybala is out of contract at Juve, and there's talk that Arsenal
transfer would be nice.
Yeah, there's talk that Arsenal want to sign him, that Spurs want to sign him, that all these people want to sign him, and so the conversation was, well, if he signs for Spurs, who would he displace? And I think Brad's sentiment was that he would displace Kulusevski in the starting lineup. And I think Brad's saying that you would have a front three of Son, Kane, Dybala. Am I hearing you right?
Yes.
I disagree.
And you guys are wrong because he's 5'10", 165. Kulusevski is only 6'1" and 176. So we're talking 11 pounds and 3 inches.
So, but they just play different positions. They don't both play on the right wing. I mean, clearly Dybala could play out there, and Kulusevski plays relatively well out there. But like Dybala is more of an 11. He's more of a second striker. Likes to play more centrally, and so he's yes, Brad.
I think he's a better complement to Kane. I think that frees Kane up to be the forward that Conte wants him to be. So I still think he gets into your starting 11.
But that drastically changes your structure and your format. And what
3-5-2 isn't that different.
Agreed. Oh, I don't disagree.
You know, that would free them up to both play at the same time too.
But then, are you playing Son as your left wing back, and Kulusevski as your right wing back? I don't think you want Son as a left.
Yeah,
wing back,
essentially.
But I don't think you want Son as a left.
No,
wing
but
back.
it would essentially morph into a 3-3-4. But we would need center backs and. Or a 5-3-4. Essentially,
he's stealing players.
Like is it? Hold on, did I?
No, he wasn't. He was, but how the formation looks is 3-4.
Yeah, no, that's right.
You're not talking about a 4-3-3.
No, going
No,
forward.
it would be
He's
the
saying having
other
3
way
center
around.
backs.
It would
3
essentially turn
midfielders,
into
4 front.
instead of a 5 in the middle, it would be Son and
Yeah.
it was what it would turn into.
Yeah, well,
Right, but I mean that's Chelsea's a 5-2-3, and then it's a 3-5-2 when we're or 3-2-5 when we're attacking.
I mean,
So
like
yeah.
if you look at most teams,
That's
like
what it
you
is.
only have like you might have 2 center backs at midfield, especially like our caliber teams. Like our fullbacks are expected to attack. If they're not, if we're playing fullbacks or if they're playing wingbacks, they're expected to be involved in the attack. And like we were kind of having this conversation about Tamiyasu, I think it was 2 weeks ago, about how he could play on the right wing or the left wing. Or on the right back or the left back. And conversely, interestingly enough, he played left back against Leeds, about how it just changes who is going to be like where the predominant attack is coming from, if it's coming from the left or the right. And
where the shade's going to be in the back line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But all right, so you agree with Sean. Will, I need you to back me up here in that Dybala would start over Kulusevski.
I think I
you know
don't
what?
think so.
You know what Dybala would be? Dybala would be Eric Lamela.
Wow,
that's an insult to Dybala.
Yeah.
It is meant to be an insult to Dybala. Would I take him on the team? Yes, he would be a great player to play in the League Cup.
Oh man,
that would be a great asset to the depth of the team.
I'm saying all this. I'm not trying to slander Dybala because I think he's a class player. I think he's very good. But I just think for the structure that Conte likes to have, I don't think he necessarily would fit into Spurs' side. I don't see it. Maybe I'm wrong. Dropping things. But I think that in all likelihood, Kulusevski would still start over Dybala. I don't know.
But yeah. I disagree, but that's fine. I disagree, but that's fine.
Yeah. So
just head down to Joel. Let's see what Joel's coming to Sean too.
So this was maybe you're just the biggest shit poster of the podcast because everyone's coming at you.
I am. I'll take the mantle from Brad.
So this was about our conversation about English players in the World Cup, which we had different takes on, but this is what Joel says. On the English players comment in Spurs, Sean, Harry Winks ? Ryan Segerson ? I wouldn't pick them for the World Cup, but what are your thoughts? Yeah, I butchered his last name.
Sessegnon,
thank you.
Could you pronounce the steak that starts with the word filet?
What are you saying? I don't understand
what you're saying. The cut of steak. Sorry. The cut of steak that starts the word. It's 2 words. The first one is filet.
Mignon?
There you go.
That's how you pronounce it. He's correcting your pronunciation.
Yeah. Brad already
Ryan says, right? Ryan Sessegnon.
Yeah. I mispronounced it. That's fine.
So are they English players, Sean?
Are they England? Yeah. Will they play for?
Yeah. Do they make for the English Cup?
Oh, absolutely not. No, the reason those names came up because I was just throwing out English players on our team. I was like, I was just throwing out names. Is Harry Winks making it? No. Is Sessegnon making it? No. Absolutely not Sessegnon because the fullback position on England is stacked on both sides. Well, maybe the left because he's a left back. Because it's just Shaw. Shaw. Who's the other? Chilwell.
But Chilwell.
Yeah, so he's not getting that.
Chilwell doesn't have legs right now.
Unless there's an injury, Sessegnon's not getting in there.
He's playing with the academy, actually.
Oh, is he beefing with Burnley U28 or U18?
No, that's the guy in Reading.
But Harry Winks might have a chance, because after Declan and who's your double last name player, Brad, that plays center defense or center mid?
Center mid.
Hudson-Odoi.
Loftus-Cheek.
Oh,
Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
Oh yeah.
Because that's Declan and Loftus-Cheek is probably the best 2 English center mids or center defensive mids.
I don't even think.
Loftus-Cheek doesn't make it.
Yeah, did Loftus-Cheek even make it at the Euros? I don't think he was in the side.
I was pretty sure he was on the Euro roster, wasn't he?
No,
I was pretty sure. No.
Hold on, I'm pulling it up now.
Oh, then they should consider that.
I mean, if you had,
Like,
you had your midfielders. Well, Mason Mount was the one, but you had Henderson,
well, he's not a
Foden,
defensive mid. Oh,
Declan,
Henderson. Okay.
Henderson, Foden,
Yeah.
Declan, Sancho, Mount, Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips is over.
Phillips.
Grealish, Saka, Jude Bellingham.
Phillips
So
is
yeah,
at
so
Leeds,
if you
bro.
want to add,
Oh, they. Oh no! Wait a second.
if you want to add depth to the center defensive part of those midfielders, then maybe you would add Winks. But I think you'd probably go Dyer at center defensive mid over Winks, like because Dyer's already on for center back, right?
No,
Yeah.
Dyer was not there for this, but
Oh,
he's
okay,
been
but
before,
yeah,
he
I
wasn't
would,
on this one.
you would put Dyer probably ahead of Winks if you're England
Yeah.
to go to that center defensive mid, probably.
Well, because he's utilitous, he could play center back or
Yeah.
defensive midfield.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because and he could take free kicks. Yeah, like there's a lot he can do.
Yeah. So I wouldn't. Yeah, I think
No.
I think Sessegnon might have a shot if you're taking 3 left backs, but if you're only taking 2,
It's
Did
well,
he play
it- no,
Kyle
he only
Walker
had-
on the left side too?
he did play Kyle Walker on the left side.
That
Yeah.
seems-
You're like, what's
but-
going on? It was odd. Again, it's
You're,
silly decisions.
the
Should
main
not
the
be
main
managing
reason
England.
is because Luke Shaw can't stay healthy, and then Chilwell just happened to get injured.
Luke Shaw
led
should,
to that.
Luke Shaw should not be in. If
Be
England
anywhere near.
if England want to win the World Cup, Luke Shaw should not be anywhere near the World Cup.
I'd have to look at English left backs before, like, because Ryan Sessegnon's 21. Like, what?
I'd rather have him than Luke Shaw.
And I'm not saying. I don't know. Maybe.
He's
probably. I don't know which one's the best argument, but maybe Sessegnon just for injuries.
Yeah. Joel's other comment is Kane is greater than Son, hands down. Excuse me. Excuse me. Kane is the best player for Spurs and England's best player too. I think he's the best striker in the Premier League by a mile. Because we were talking about.
I agree with the last statement.
We were talking about this last week about. I think I jokingly said that Son is your best player, and you agreed. And you double down.
You double down. Silly.
He's
Stupidly.
the best player.
He's not.
He is the best player on Spurs.
Well, Brad's
because
point,
he does.
I think he scored
so
more,
much
I think
more.
he scores goals. He's only in this the first season he's scored more goals than Harry Kane. Please tell me what else does Son do? What else does Son do besides run past Kane for the outlet pass? Please tell me.
The stuff he does off the ball. He pulls defenders. He makes runs behind. He opens up defenses. He can take people on if he needs to. He can run off the ball if he needs to, and he's really good at passing, just like Kane is. I don't think we're talking. I'm not saying Son's leaps and bounds better. I'm just saying we're splitting hairs here, and I would say Son's our best player.
Who's a better passer, Son or Kane?
Probably Kane.
Who has a better shot?
That's really close, though. I had to think about that.
Who has a better shot, Son or Kane?
All right, Son.
Interesting. Okay,
Who's the better finisher?
Son.
Probably Son. Probably Son.
If you ask me who has a better, I think Kane shoots the ball better than Son, but I think that Son's a more clinical finisher than Kane is. But here, who's better in the air?
Oh, it's Kane.
Kane. Who's better holding the ball up?
Kane.
Oh, Son.
Okay.
Well, they're both really good. That's probably a push. That's probably a push. No, Son doesn't get the ball. He doesn't get.
When does Son hold the ball up? When is
he
that
holds
part of his
the
game?
ball.
No. Holds
he
the
gets
ball
pressed.
up.
Talking about like hold up play.
So like it's how Son plays the
Like
game.
back to goal.
Yeah.
Son
Kane
doesn't play back to goal.
That's my point.
Kane holds the ball.
It's another
The
feather in
defender
Kane's
comes
hat.
to Kane. Kane passes the ball to Son because Kane pulled the defender.
I think that they are clearly very complementary to one another.
But Harry Kane is the better
They're
player.
very equal. I say we are splitting hairs, is what I'm saying. It's not leaps and bounds, Son, but I just would give the edge to Son. I think he's the better player
You know what I think is
on the team currently.
what I think is the most interesting comment about Joel's comment is that Joel, you think that Harry Kane is the best English player in the world. That I think is
England's best player And I think he's the best striker in the Premier League by a mile, is what he says.
Yeah, but I agree. I agree.
He's saying he's the best English player.
Yeah, but he's saying he's the best English player, which
Yeah.
in turn means he's the best English player.
I would fully agree with that. I would fully agree with that.
Would you? Okay. I'm trying to think who you might argue. Like which English players you might argue.
Second best?
Like we're talking like Phil Foden, Jack Grealish.
Foden. He's not in the discussion. Foden's got to be there. Like, because at this point you're comparing. Once you start bringing in Foden and Saka and Reece James,
Sterling.
Well, Sterling's not even in this argument.
I think so.
Other than being English, there's nothing that qualifies him to be the best English player. Wow. Once you start bringing in Foden and Saka, you start comparing resumes, and they don't have a chance to have that yet.
Yeah.
Why?
True.
Doesn't
Wait.
If we're gonna talk resumes, who has trophies?
That's a good question. I know my boy Saka does. And we all know Foden has trophies.
We know Foden does. We know Mace does. We know Reece James does. The person you said Reece James does. So I guess, you know what, Joel? I think you might be wrong about Harry Kane being the best English player. His resume just doesn't stack up.
Oh. Yeah.
I need my shit title back.
Let's talk about career stats of individual stats. And since we're talking about best player.
Fair.
Let's pull up goals. Let's see what Phil Foden's goals are versus Harry Kane's goals. Let's see that.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when you start bringing that in, that's not fair to the younger players.
Certainly.
So we're comparing a close to 30-year-old Kane versus a Saka's 21?
Yeah,
22?
22, something like that. Same with Foden.
Yeah, it's you're just visually looking at them on the field, and what I would say about Saka is the crazy part about Saka is eye test. You can see his skill, and what this is going to be a compliment coming to you before you. I see your defensive posture. What's crazy about Saka is how talented he is on the field, and then you can see him make mistakes, which means he can get better. You can see that there is improvement to come in his game, which means he's going to be better than he currently is.
Yeah.
Hopefully. I mean, ideally, you would like to see those mistakes go away, but he makes mistakes. He gets on the ball in the box and he hesitates or does this or does that, and it gets dispossessed. And
I think
that happens to every striker, but
I think a lot of that has gone away in his game this year. I think he's a lot more confident in the final third this year. I think if you wanted to complain about Saka's game specifically off of what we've seen this year, it's finishing, is that maybe he's not the most clinical finisher he could be. And even that is getting better. But I don't know. I mean, like, I think Saka's decision making on the right wing is exceptional. He's super confident on the ball. He will dribble at defenders. He will make the right pass, generally speaking. So to your point, I would agree with you. There are certainly some deficiencies in his game, some areas where he can get better. And you can see that, like, maybe more so in decision making or things like that, but it's getting more
it's gonna come.
It's getting more infrequent that you see those mistakes. I think. So,
and that's what I'll give to Saka. So yes, I would say almost by default, Kane is the best English player. But it's hard.
True. I mean,
and Reece James is like 24. Like it's like he could be the best.
Like 22.
Right back. It's like one of the best right backs in the world. Like, how do you compare that to a striker? And also, that's 8 years older than you. Like, it's hard to compare that.
And he's so versatile. He can play center defensive mid, center back. You know, I agree with you. There's tons of room for Reece James.
I know you scoff James, but you have to admit Reece James is one of the best right backs in the world. He's probably top 3, right?
I don't know. In the world?
Yeah.
Maybe extended to 5.
Trent. Hold on. We'll say Trent.
Top 5. Trent's probably the best out there right now.
You can argue Trent. I think you're wrong, but you can argue Trent.
I'd have to look down like best left backs, but Trent's got to be number 1.
Right backs.
Right backs.
I'm going to admit that I'm criminally understudied in the global right back position, but like Danny Alves is still playing, right?
Yeah,
Marcelo's still playing, right?
Marcelo is a left back.
No, I think he's right back.
Real Madrid, Marcelo, he plays right
He's
back.
right back.
He's played right
Right
back.
back, right?
No, he's played
Sure.
right back his entire career.
Uh-oh. Let's see who's right. Is the top or the bottom right?
Yeah, I'm
Marcelo.
All right, so I'm automatically getting off of this. Let me check the date on this. I was automatically getting off of this website because it told me this is March 22. I'm getting off of this website. It told me Kieran Trippier is better than
he
Reece
is
James.
left. Oh,
Marcelo's
what?
a left back? I don't believe that.
Wait.
This website told me
he's
in a
left back.
ranking of the top 10 that Kieran Trippier was 6 and Reece James was 8. So I just got off of that website and went to another one.
I mean,
okay, you're right, Sean. I'm wrong.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. I'm right about a lot of stuff.
Kyle Walker would be
Kyle
be
Walker
one.
is not better than Reece James. Hakimi,
No.
João Cancelo, and Trent probably is who we're missing. Benjamin Pavard's probably a good one. Danny Carvajal.
Yeah.
Trippier really is a good one. But he's not in front of Reece James. That's why I got off of that website. That's why I got off of that list.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Would hear
Don't talk to me.
Cancelo.
Cancelo,
maybe, but I
So
I think it's really Trent or Reece. That's your two choices.
This list is trying to talk to me that Manchester City in the world have the second and fourth best right backs in the world.
As much money as Pep has spent on that defense.
I haven't watched Hakimi because I don't watch any PSG games other than Champions League. So how good is Hakimi? I don't know. But maybe
Hakimi was scared to come. He was like, there was we had an offer accepted for him to come to Chelsea. He was scared to come to Chelsea because he didn't think he'd get playing time.
You know, it's kind of funny. Are you guys on Transfer Market? Is this the list that you guys pulled up on Transfer Market?
No.
So I pulled up Transfer Market and I filtered down to right backs. And so you got Trent, Hakimi, Cancelo, Reece James, and then apparently, according to Transfer Market, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is the 5th most valuable right back in the world. And that's
got to be based on age.
I mean, he's equal in value to Pavard. But
Wow.
You read that and you're just like, there's no way. But
that's impressive.
I guess.
All right, guys. Hit us in the comments if you guys got another right back that you want to add to this argument.
We can,
between Trent and Reece James, because I don't see a third one there. You might be able to convince me Cancelo deserves to be in the conversation, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys you want to talk about the Premier League? We should do that.
Yeah, that's a table up there.
Let's do that. Let me get this like that. All right, so Premier League table, what everything looks like. So Liverpool dropped points. They drew against Spurs. Spurs get the 1-1 draw at Anfield, so that meant Spurs are now, Liverpool have essentially lost pace with Manchester City. If you look at the table, Manchester City are still in first on goal difference. Both the teams are on 86 points, but Manchester City have that all-important game in hand, so they have played one less game than Liverpool. That results this last weekend that we'll talk about here in a couple minutes, Spurs drawing away at Liverpool probably sends the title to the light blue side of Manchester. It would seem unlikely to me that City lose from here on out, but clearly anything's possible. In third is Chelsea. They've played 35 games and are on 67 points. In fourth are Arsenal. They also have played 35 games and they are on 66 points. Spurs are in fifth. Spurs are the last team outside of the top four right now that could finish in the top four. So their point maximum right now, they've got 3 games to play. They could go to 71 points total. So they've got a little bit of wiggle room. They could, in theory, finish third, but it seems unlikely. In sixth is Manchester United. They will finish either fifth or sixth. They will finish sixth. right? They've played 37. Yeah, they can't get to fifth. So United will, well, I guess they could finish lower than sixth, but they can't get to fifth. So United are either Europa League or Conference League or no league for next year. West Ham are in seventh. They're still fighting for the Europa League. Wolves, I think in theory, could get to the Europa League. Yeah, they could, but it seems unlikely. Wolves are in eighth. In ninth is Brighton and Hove. 10th is Crystal Palace. Villa are in 11th. Brentford are in 12th. Newcastle are in 13th. Leicester are in 14th. Southampton are in 15th. Everton are in 16th. Burnley are in 17th. 18th is Leeds. Relegated is Watford. Relegated is Norwich City in 19th and 20th, respectively. So kind of the interesting things about the table, the things that you need to keep an eye on over the next 2 weeks are the fight for 17th. So which team is going to finish 18th between Everton, Burnley, or Leeds? Right now, it is Leeds in that position. They are equal number of points with Burnley, same number of games played. They are both on 34 points. Leeds has a dismal negative 35 goal difference. Burnley's at negative 17. So Leeds need to accumulate more points than Burnley or Everton to get out. Everton are looking pretty good. They've only played 34 games, so they have one extra game to play, and they have one more point amassed than both those other teams. So, Brad, you can give us the 538 numbers real quick on that about the relegation battle. I would imagine Leeds are probably have the highest percentage to be relegated, yeah?
They do, but not by much. All right, so Everton is at a 9% chance of relegation.
Okay.
Burnley is at a 41%, and Leeds is at a 49%.
Okay, so
I'm guessing it's probably higher because of Chelsea's run of form, because that's who Leeds plays next. Spoiler. I should have said spoiler first, but you know. So I think after tomorrow's games, you will see Leeds drop very much in that percentage point.
Yeah, especially if they lose. Burnley plays Spurs this weekend as well, but if Spurs beat them like they should, then yeah, but we'll see.
Yeah.
And then the other things, of course, to watch are clearly the fight for fourth between Spurs and Arsenal. That's going to come to a head on Thursday. They've got the North London derby. If Arsenal beats Spurs in the North London derby this Thursday, then Arsenal will confirm their return to the Champions League for next year, and it will settle at least Arsenal's season. I think Spurs could, in theory, still finish
fourth if we have
fourth.
0 points.
Yes.
Yeah, if we get, they'll get 68 points where we have 67. So if we do not get another point from this season, we could finish fifth.
It doesn't mathematically eliminate Spurs unless if Chelsea pick up any points against Leeds, then it would. So it all comes to a head at the North London derby. Assuming Chelsea beat Leeds tomorrow, which I think is a safe assumption.
You said that we've said that the past 2 games. We're not saying that now.
No, it's a safe assumption that Chelsea will beat Leeds.
Then wait a second. Can we imagine this future really quickly?
Yes, we can.
Chelsea loses to Leeds. Arsenal loses to Tottenham. And it's a 2-point race for fourth with 2 games to go. 67, 66, 65.
I mean, that would be
2 games to go.
That would be wild.
I'm not here for that. I need us to get this dub to get to that 70 points.
Well, see, the thing is, clearly both Arsenal and Chelsea hold their future in their hands. Tottenham need help, right? So even if Tottenham beat Arsenal in the North London derby, then they still need Arsenal to drop more points. They still would need Chelsea to drop points. So it seems like a long shot for Spurs at this point, but 3 games to play. Everything. I am not super confident going into the North London derby. It's a toss-up game. Derbies, anything can happen. So anything can happen there. So those are the things I think if you are a neutral watcher person who's perusing the Premier League over the next 2 weeks, you're like, hey, I'm going to get into Premier League football. Those are the 2 things that I would be checking out, is the who's getting relegated and who is not getting and who's going to end up in the Champions League. Of course, if we want to throw this out there, in the Championship, Fulham and Bournemouth have earned promotion for next season, and then we've got the playoff between 4 other teams.
Huddersfield.
Yeah, Brad knows.
Huddersfield, Nottingham Forest, Sheffield United, and Luton Town.
Yeah, Luton Town, yeah. So,
all right, well, while we're here, are we going to make our picks on those 4? I think we make our picks. Who are we cheering for in this playoff? Sean, Huddersfield, Nottingham Forest, Sheffield United, Luton Town.
That's a different question. But
Here's
who are you rooting for, or who do you think will get promoted? Because I think if you look at this baseline, who are you rooting for? I think we're all rooting for Luton Town because they have they're tiny compared to the other ones. But who do we think is going to get promoted? I think is a different question.
Okay, then we'll do who do we think is getting promoted?
All right, Sean, you go first.
Same.
Luton Town.
Because I'm going history.
Okay.
So Nottingham Forest.
So I want to win. This is what I think is going to win.
Oh.
Nottingham Forest. Here's why. I've got number 1, fuck Luton Town.
Yeah.
Number 2, Huddersfield and Sheffield just recently came up, got Premier League money, and then went back down and didn't spend diddly dick to stay there. So you know what? Take that Premier money.
Huddersfield was just up for more than a season.
Get out of here.
At least 2 seasons.
Yeah, take your money and get out of here. Go back and piddle around with Norwich next year. Get out of here. Let's let Nottingham back in.
Huddersfield Town hasn't been in the Premier League as far as
4 years or 5
years.
They
were just here.
Yes,
they were just. What are you talking about? They got relegated last year or the year before.
No,
what are you talking about?
No, you're smoking crack.
Yes, they did. And Sheffield got relegated last year.
Yes, Sheffield did.
Sheffield did.
Everyone that's listening to this podcast currently, please inform these guys to actually watch the Premier League before we do a Premier League podcast.
Oh, okay. So
Huddersfield got relegated 2 years ago.
When?
2 years ago.
So the 2020-2021 season or the 2019-2020 season? Which one?
It's just
that one.
It's just wrong.
Which one is it, Sean? 2019 or 2020? Which one?
2019-21.
I don't.
Okay.
2019-20.
I don't remember the last.
So you're
time.
wrong.
Yeah.
It was 2018-2019. It was 3 years ago.
Exactly. That's what I said.
But you're still wrong. And they returned to the top flight in 2017. So they stayed 2 seasons. So they did not do a Norwich or a Fulham, which means they are more than welcome to come back into the league.
So
James, who's your pick between the 4?
They were in the Premier League in 2018.
Yeah.
Huddersfield, yeah.
How do I not remember that?
I don't know. But who's your pick between?
How do I not remember that?
Who are you cheering for on these guys here?
I mean, I'm rooting for. I mean, I don't know if I should be rooting for Nottingham Forest, but I think I am.
Okay.
Yeah, they.
So you're both with the Forest. I'm going Huddersfield.
They slapped us this year. I don't. So
I think Sheffield carried single digits for I think it was a record for how long, or it was the fewest points through X amount of games or something. It was some record they broke for how woefully awful they were when Sheffield came up.
They spent.
Which I believe was last year.
No, it was the season. It was last season. It was one of the worst seasons ever. Not quite as bad as Derby County. Okay. I'm going Huddersfield.
And they're second here.
I need Tino and Levi Colwill to bring Huddersfield up to the Prem, and then come on home. Well, Tino can go.
Is that one of your 100 loans you have out?
Yeah, and Levi Colwill is supposed to be like the next hottest defender. Like people are comparing him to John Terry. I'm not doing that. I haven't watched him play. I'm not doing that. But the Twitterverse is all about some Levi Colwill.
I think James is still hypnotized by the fact that Huddersfield was just recently in the Premier League.
I am. They spent 2 years in the Premier League, and I have completely blocked that out of my memory for some reason.
That's how bad they were, and you want that again. Brad wants that again for everybody to have to watch Huddersfield football.
Oh man.
Well, we have to watch Fulham football, so we might as well suffer with Huddersfield too.
All right.
At least the guy scoring 40 bajillion goals is going to be Mitrovic. It's going to be on the team.
And he scored like 7 when he was in the Prem.
Well, that was our.
Oh, we'll see.
That was Red Card Radio's talk of the championship. That was our review of the championship after the championship finally ended for the year. But so results in the Premier League. So last Saturday kicked off with Brentford and Southampton. Brentford beat Southampton 3-0. Burnley and Villa win that game 3-1. Chelsea and Wolves play to a 2-2 draw, a shocking 2-2 draw. We're coming to you about that, Brad, in a little bit. Palace beat Watford 1-0. Brighton beat United 4-0 in an amazing. That was a fantastic game to watch. I loved it. Liverpool and Spurs played to that 1-1 draw that we talked about earlier. Sunday morning, Arsenal beat Leeds 2-1 in what ended up being a nervy game at the end, which shouldn't have been. Leicester lost to Everton, 2-1. West Ham beats Norwich 4-0. Manchester City shellacked Newcastle 5-0. And then today, Villa was hosting Liverpool. Liverpool get the win 2-1. Of course, taking them even on points with Manchester City, but same number of games played. So those were the Premier League games that were played since we last were together. What's the most shocking result here? I think it's either Wolves getting a 2-2 draw at Chelsea after the 79th minute, after being down 2-0 in the 78th minute, or is it Everton beating Leicester? Leicester's a bottle like Brendan Rodgers, and that team is checked out.
Even with United struggles, even with United struggles, it's like Brighton 4-4 them.
Yeah,
has to be in the discussion.
Especially Brighton at home. Brighton at home has been dismal this year.
I don't know what it is. You and I both had our troubles with Brighton, and the past couple of weeks, the Brighton is on fire right now.
I told y'all Brighton was a good club.
I was relegating Brighton this year, so
you did. I was on the sheets.
Apparently, I know nothing.
That was put on the sheets of integrity.
If you've been listening to the last 45 episodes this season, you obviously know that I know.
Graham Potter listens to the podcast.
Yeah, Graham Potter.
Graham Potter listens.
Speaking of Graham Potter, apparently he's coming to replace Conte.
Oh yeah.
Did we put these? Did we put these in order of 20th to 18th?
No, it was no particular order.
Because you said Brighton first, by the way. Yeah. Because I wrote that down first.
I was so certain that they had outlived their welcome. Shows what I know.
Yeah. A beast.
I'll probably relegate him again next year.
Portsmouth went down. We need somebody on the South Coast, so Brighton's here to stay until Portsmouth come back up. They're in like League One now or something, or worse.
They're down there. Yeah. So I'm going to kick it to you, Brad, because I
know
you don't want to talk about it, but I want to know what happened in this game.
So we were after Lukaku's penalty, those like next 5 to 10 minutes. Chelsea was either going to score a goal and put the game to bed, or Wolves were countering and scoring. And then 20 minutes later, they did that. They countered and scored. But it was weird because Rudiger and Kovacic kind of like hit each other, which caused Rudiger to step back and giving the space for that shot outside the box to go in. Gorgeous shot by Junkao, I believe. And then we got Fergie timed because it was like 30 seconds after the whistle should have been blown. And they weren't attacking for the first like 10, 15 seconds of it.
But was there stoppage in stoppage time? Like, was there like an injury or like did play stop for a prolonged amount? Was there substitution? Like what happened in stoppage time?
I don't think so. I don't think there was one. Hold on, let me double check though. I could be wrong. I normally am. I don't think there was any stops.
We usually let it go on the flow of pay.
At 90 minutes, we did a quick sub of Lukaku and Kai Havertz, and it wasn't like a slow walk off because Lukaku was right next to the
let the flow of play out though.
There wasn't a flow of play. Like they were still in their half of the field when the 6 minutes was up. They weren't progressing the ball forward when that time occurred.
I feel like the rule
I
feel like the rule of thumb is 30 seconds for a substitution. And if you make a substitution in the 90th minute, that takes place after the match official has told the fourth official, hey, this is how much extra time we need. So like that's already being communicated. So like if it happens in the 90th minute, I'm okay with adding 30 seconds for that, even if it's a fast substitution. Rule of thumb is 30 seconds.
Either way, we lost control of the game. We needed a Jorginho to come in at like 70th minute to just slow the game down and make some passes and just and like wash some things out so we weren't so angsty. It's like you could see it. Kovacic was blitzing up the field, and Loftus-Cheek isn't the best coverage. That's not where he thrives. Is being the lone guy back. So if that makes sense of the pairing.
But why is Kovacic doing that? Like why isn't Tuchel
I told
yelling
you They were going for that third goal.
But
And what we
why?
also didn't have, I don't think we had another substitution because Alonso, fighting managers as always, Alonso and Tuchel got into it in the first half, and Tuchel took them off coming out of halftime
I
and
guess
brought on Sal.
I guess I just don't understand like why, if you're meant to play center midfield, why you would like. It'd be like if Granit Xhaka was like pushing for a third goal against the Leeds when we were up 2-1 in like the 90th minute or something like that. It just seems like,
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't the 90th minute. It was like this was like in the 65th minute.
oh, okay.
Yeah, this was like the 60th. Yeah, it was like right after that second goal. We were being reckless in our pushing. We weren't covering for each other. There was no like.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
There was no
like attacking for a third goal. Like when you smell blood, I think it's important to push and try and drive.
right, but it was right, but it was either going to be we go up 3 goals and this just shuts everything down, or Wolves are coming back because they're getting a goal and then they think they can get a point.
So,
and that's what happened.
So when you look at the table now,
it got really close.
But
only look, we're still getting fourth. I don't care. As long as we're in the top 4, I really do not care. Let's be real.
Yeah, third or fourth doesn't matter. But like,
I don't care.
Chelsea fans' heads would explode. Your guys' heads will explode if you guys finish fourth.
Finish the same spot we did last year?
To either Spurs or Arsenal. Like you guys, you will lose your mind.
Especially if it's Spurs, because of how far back Spurs they are.
It better not be Spurs.
Like that's a complete like meltdown. Which like what other club has had to deal with what Chelsea's had to deal with?
I think that the biggest issue that you guys have had to deal with is not the ownership issue. It's that you spent £100 million on a center forward
who is on the bench,
who is not leading the league in goals.
You got a brace.
Yes. And
get the brace.
Sure. How many goals does that bring him up to this year?
14. He's leading the club, actually, in all competitions.
How many games has he played? Do you know off the top of your head?
No, probably like 25, 30.
30. Yeah, it's not enough, right? I think that's.
I agree.
I think that's the biggest issue.
I agree. I do not disagree with you.
Yeah, I think the players can easily compartmentalize the issues that are going on off the. I mean, these guys are all super wealthy, multimillionaires. Like they're not hurting if,
right, but the club is literally in standstill mode.
Okay, but
your women's team. Your job is
to show up and kick the ball and play football. I don't know.
I don't disagree with you, but
yeah.
All of a sudden you couldn't you could do your job, but there was no progression in your job.
Maybe.
And you weren't sure if you had to drive yourself when you were used to taking the bus.
Yeah, maybe I could see that.
There's added stress to this when you're like, oh, our club could be liquidated if for whatever reason this gets held up.
Yeah, but I feel like
it's looking like it looks like it's sailing through because clear the capital firm behind Foley gave the list of directors. There's no Russians or Saudis on there. They're like, cool, you guys can clear us all. You see, I said Saudis, right, Joel? I said Saudis.
Yeah.
I want to point that out there. Saudis are not on the board. And so I think it'll sail through by the end of May. We'll have everything done, and then go on a spending spree. Hopefully, get Tuchel what he wants.
It would be. I hope you are prepared to. I hope you're prepared for American owners. I hope you're prepared.
Yeah,
but
I'm ready.
So,
Sean, I'm ready to catch the gap in Liverpool. But that's
Sean. I'm kicking it to you because before this game, you were certain that Spurs were losing at Anfield, right? Like I think if we roll the tape back to last week, you were like, "We're getting smashed," right?
I've got it concise since that went a little bit long. But it needed to. The conversation about Chelsea plus the surrounding stuff needed to be there. So I've got it concise. I texted you guys and told Brittany, who I was watching the game with, what's going to happen is Tottenham will score somewhere around halftime, in the 5 to 10 minutes before or the 5 to 10 minutes after.
35 to 60, somewhere in there.
Yeah. And then it's going to piss Liverpool off. We're going to lose 3-1.
It didn't happen. That didn't happen.
And it did. Son scored in the 56th. And all I did was just look over in the bar stool right at Brittany. And I was like, there it is. And I was like, here it comes. It didn't right away. But I predicted 71st, 75th, 77th. Because when Liverpool score, they score in a flurry.
Yeah.
And they will stay on your ass once they get that. When they get that blood in the water, they go. And then Luis Diaz scored in the 74th, and I was like, oh, here it comes.
Yeah.
Here it comes.
When he scored that goal, I was like, all right, Liverpool are gonna go on to win this game. But can we for a moment
I was so sure.
Can we talk about how poor Mo Salah was in this game? Like he
wasn't great. He was locked up. I was actually going to point out in the other direction.
Okay.
I was going to point out in the other direction of how great Sessegnon played in this game, of how great he handled Salah, and because it's not just Salah, it's Trent coming down the left too. Like he's got both to deal with over there.
It seemed like Liverpool have always been a high crossing team. Like they cross the ball a lot. Like that happens a lot.
Yeah.
But it just seemed like there were a lot of instances in this game where Trent would get the ball from Salah and just cross it. Like it seemed almost like aimlessly.
No one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like nobody was attacking.
And that's not his game. I don't know what's going. I don't know what was going on with that.
Especially, I don't know if Liverpool were certainly stymied by Tottenham's defense, but at the same time, it just seemed like Liverpool were very wasteful with the ball.
So just a couple of points. I'll just rattle off kind of rapid fire style. I thought Davies probably could have got a red, but I also thought Fabinho probably could have got a red. Both were on yellows, and I thought there were challenges that probably
should have sent them
if
off.
not on the yellow. If not on yellow, probably would have warranted another yellow.
Yeah.
Both of them. Davies was a little reckless, but it was point two. Sessegnon played amazing on defense, and then the pass to Son when I saw that space open up and Kane passed it to Sessegnon, I was like, bang it. And he didn't. Held composure, passed it to the middle of the box. Son just deflects it in. Easy goal. To have the vision and composure that I didn't see, having the whole field from the top down to see that he doesn't have, that was incredible from a young kid. So really good play from him, even though it's not the one I wanted. I wanted him to right foot bang it. And then Luis Diaz, amazing. Like that's a signing of a lifetime right there. I did see Liverpool people talking about best signing of the January window. Kulusevski. Check the tape. Check the stats. Liverpool.
Hey Sean, who would
not
you rather
there.
have?
Kulusevski.
Hey Sean, who would you rather have?
Kulusevski or Luis Diaz?
Kulusevski. I'd rather have production. They're roughly the same age, and I got 8 assists and 3 goals to show for it. What's Diaz got?
Hold on, tape, because it's probably close.
And then to close that out, because I wanted to do this back to back, Kulusevski didn't have a great game. That's why he came off. Thiago and Robertson were swallowing him.
Yeah.
He just wasn't having a good game. Going up the right side with Royal and Kulusevski just wasn't happening. That's why they kept feeding the left.
All right, so 12 matches, 4 goals, 3 assists in the Prem, and then 2 goals in the Champions League. I don't know if you know what that is, Sean, but it's this really
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's this really awesome league in Europe where like the best teams in the world play for it.
Is it like a super? It's kind of like a super league of like. All
it's almost like a super league, but not quite. You know, it's.
Bentancur had a good game, and it's always fun to watch. This is an added point I just thought of. It's always fun to watch the best strikers go against the best center backs, and watching like the little mind games and like the little stuff of watching Kane and Van Dijk play back and forth, because Van Dijk's not stupid. But Kane would get him to take a step, and then he'd be like, you little fucking like you could watch them playing little mind games with each other of like Kane trying to pull Van Dijk, and he knows better.
Yeah.
Shit like that. Just watching them go head to head was fun. And Van Dijk probably should have probably scored twice off corners. I think he had one off the crossbar and one just wide that he just got he got up for. Yeah. And he's tall as shit. I think the only one on the team maybe even close to his height is Kane.
I was gonna say, was Kane playing defense too? Best defender? Best midfielder,
defending corners.
Probably.
Defending corners, yeah. Anyways, all right.
No, I think the only thing I would say about the Arsenal Leeds game is Arsenal. Arsenal should have scored a third goal.
How did you guys see off a 10-man Leeds and let them get a goal?
So interesting.
I didn't watch.
Interesting point about that goal. That is the first goal that Arsenal has conceded from a set piece all year.
Wow.
I
thought you were going to say that was the first goal.
36 games without conceding on a set piece.
That's impressive. I was going to say I thought you were going to say that's the first time a 10-man team has scored against Arsenal since Tammy Abraham beat Arsenal on a PK. The 10-man team. No one Chelsea did it, but I'll allow you the 36 games. That's impressive. That's very, very impressive, sir.
Yeah,
I think Arteta should stay lifetime contract, just like John Calipari.
He did get an extension this year, 2 more years to through 2025. So,
Don Arteta.
What's up?
Jokes aside, he probably deserves it.
I mean, we're gonna get European. So if you listen to the press conference or the press releases about it, it was that the goal this year was Europa League to finish in the top 6. Clearly, we've accomplished that. We were going at the very minimum finish in the Europa League.
Yeah.
So like that was the goal set out to Arteta this year. And if we finish in the Champions League, then we're ahead of schedule according to the press releases. But yeah, it was we gave up a set piece, and then like Leeds are going to have chances. Like right, even 10-man Leeds are going to have chances. And we saw it through, and that's really what matters.
Hey James, did you watch your pick of the week?
I don't.
No, because it was on at the same time as Arsenal. So I didn't.
I thought you were sacrificing for the pod, didn't you? Didn't you like promise that you were going to be watching the pick of the week? I thought that.
Hold on, I don't know if I ever said I promise I will watch it. I said if you only have one game to watch, might I suggest that you watch it.
You didn't take your own suggestion then?
No, because so both these games were on Peacock, and so that meant we were getting the feed from England, right? Like just like the global feed, and they were actively spoiling the Everton Leicester game as I'm watching the Arsenal Leeds game, and so I'm like, okay, well, I don't really like watching sports that have been spoiled for me. It's hard for me, but so no, loyal listeners, friends of the podcast, I apologize. I did not watch my pick of the week.
City. I think our only chance of fourth was coming out of the Liverpool game with 3, and that was a tall order to begin with.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think
getting a draw probably ruins that.
I think you think about it like this: like you have to play Arsenal, you have to beat Arsenal. So beat Arsenal on Thursday, and then Arsenal have to go away to Newcastle. I think
that's not an easy game. But you'd rather go away to Arsenal or away to Newcastle in May than you would rather go away to Newcastle in January.
Certainly, and Newcastle have nothing that they're playing for, right? Like they're not playing for anything at this point.
They're not relegated anymore. Yeah.
And if you look at Spurs, so they got Arsenal, Burnley, and Norwich. Like the last 2 games are cakewalks, right? I mean, clearly Burnley are going to be fire. They're going to be scrappy. They want to stay up, so like maybe they're going to be up for it in the same way that Everton are going to be up for it on the last match day. I mean, as an Arsenal fan, I'm like, just beat Spurs, just end it and beat Spurs, and call it a day. Because if we look forward to to the games that we got coming up. So tomorrow we've got Leeds hosting Chelsea, Leicester hosting Norwich, Watford hosting Everton, Wolves hosting City. Those games are on Wednesday. On Thursday we've got the North London derby. That's Spurs hosting Arsenal. We fast forward to Sunday in the Premier League because on Saturday we've got the FA Cup final between Liverpool and Chelsea, and I believe there's an embargo. You can't play Premier League matches on the day of the FA Cup final. And so then on Sunday we kick off with Spurs hosting Burnley, Villa hosting Palace, Leeds hosting Brighton, Watford hosting Leicester, West Ham United hosting City, Wolves hosting Norwich, Everton hosting Brentford, and then on Monday, Newcastle are hosting Arsenal. So Arsenal get an immense amount more rest than Spurs do after the North London derby, which is incredible to me. We're gonna get like 36 hours more rest before kickoff. So it's exceptional. But honestly, Arsenal should just wrap it up on Thursday and call it a day.
I think these next 2 days are going to decide third, fourth, fifth. I think if we beat Leeds, there's no drama.
Well, yeah. If you guys So the thing is, if you guys beat Leeds, you're guaranteed top 4.
And then if Arsenal,
I
know, but listen, if we're gonna take the drama out of 3, 4, and 5, Leeds wins, and then either for Chelsea gets third if you guys draw.
Okay.
If you win, then we get fourth. So I'm cheering for a draw or an Arsenal victory in this match.
Yeah.
I want the least amount of drama possible.
I mean, in all honesty, you guys should be rooting for an Arsenal victory if you want to guarantee Champions League.
Or a draw. A draw does the same thing.
Okay, true. Well, not if you guys beat Leeds. Well, if you guys beat Leeds, you guarantee.
No, not
Champions.
even because it's 6 points. Or it's 5 points. No, it's 6.
Going back to the table.
No, it's 4. I can't math. It's 4 points. Sorry. If we lose to Leicester, if we beat Leeds and it's a draw, yes, 4th place is locked up.
Yeah. So you guys are. Yeah.
Yeah. If we beat Leeds, it's over.
Yeah. You guys
have 4.
You guys are guaranteed Champions League. Yeah.
Yes.
Well.
Not mathematically, but essentially.
Yes. Agreed.
And if you beat Spurs, then yes, we have locked up top 4.
But how hard are you guys going to be going in this Leeds game with the FA Cup final on Saturday? Right? Like normally there's a whole week in between like a Premier League match and the FA Cup final. So like, do you think that Tuchel goes super hard in this Leeds match if you've got the FA Cup final coming up?
I think we'll rest players like Thiago. Lukaku probably comes off in like the 60th minute because I think Lukaku starts.
Okay.
But I think we also are going to rest Conte and Jorginho. They're like injury doubts right now, but I think you rest both of them for the cup final. Either way, I mean, like maybe bring on Conte, huh?
Pulisic injured?
No. Pulisic, I think it's Pulisic or Werner that'll get the start with Mount and Lukaku. Is my thought process, and you'll have Reece play right wing back. You'll probably bring in Chalobah. So like we'll probably have a small rotation. Maybe Christensen starts in the middle with Rudy. So you rest Thiago. Or we do a back 4 with Rudy and Christensen. I don't know. There's some interesting decisions. I don't think it will be exactly our best lineup, but I don't think we need the best lineup.
Talking about against Leeds.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, if I'm Thomas Tuchel, I am 100% resting. I'm resting for the FA Cup final.
But Leeds is also going to be playing all of their starters. Leeds is going to be going hard in this game.
Well, they have to.
Especially because it is a rivalry game too. Though. It's not a big rivalry, but it is a rivalry game. So, but Leeds is going to be going hard in this game.
But they have to. Like they're trying to avoid relegation. So in all 3 of their last final games, they're going to be going full tilt.
Correct. So I don't know. I'm interested to see the starting lineup.
Are you confident?
I don't think we start everybody.
Are you confident about the FA Cup final? Because you guys have a lot going on this week.
Yeah. Chelsea's in chaos. We win cups in chaos.
Okay. All right. You heard it here first. Jimmy, I'm sorry to break it to you, but Chelsea are going to win the FA Cup according to Brad. Because
Jimmy said Chelsea's winning the FA Cup.
Jimmy, did you say that?
Yeah, I got receipts. We got receipts in the comments.
All right. Well, we'll have to pull those out. Any thoughts you have, Sean, about Burnley? You think because that is kind of a humorous game for us to talk about because you're so high on both Burnley and Spurs.
We're gonna get another Feel the Burn episode.
Do you feel like that's a trap for you guys?
Nah,
do you feel like you could drop points?
No.
Okay.
It's a game. No, we're picking up the 3. And I got nothing on midweek, so I don't know. It's a toss up. It's a rivalry game.
Yeah.
In any sport, whether it's baseball, whether it's basketball, whether it's soccer, whether it's football, you put a rivalry game out there. Who knows? Like one team could be shit, the other team could be top of league, and it doesn't matter because it's a rivalry game.
If we go back to the North London derby at the beginning of the season, Arsenal were in disarray and Spurs were playing really well, and Arsenal win the game 3-1. So exactly to your point, rivalry games, especially the North London derby, anything can happen.
Hey, so let's get some scoring predictions though. James, what's this? I have it as a draw 1-1. James, what do you think will happen in the North London derby?
I think multiple things could happen.
What's your prediction?
My prediction is 1-0 to the Arsenal. So do 0-1. Yeah.
Sean, what you got? Off the top of the dome, what you got?
I'm predicting to put in stone 3-0 Tottenham. I think it's a less than 15-minute goal that just rattles the soul of Arsenal and they just crumble. And we got the 3 goals before halftime and just weather the storm.
Let's go. Okay. Sean says Spurs for top 4.
They're gonna come back. You're not gonna shell Arsenal for 3 goals and not they're not gonna lie down. They're coming out of halftime with a vengeance.
Sean is taking the 20% chance of 4th place. I'm here for this. Let's go. Let's add this drama in. I'm here.
Yeah. 3-0 Spurs.
I guess we'll see. All right, Brad, what's going to happen in the FA Cup final? You tell me. Since we had to predict what's going to happen in the North London derby, give us a prediction.
1-0 Chelsea.
1-0 Chelsea. You think
1-0 Chelsea.
You think that Liverpool won't score?
Yeah. A late winner or a controlled winner?
Controlled winner. No, controlled winner, just like the first game before Reece James's red card.
Okay.
You get it in mid-game and you just hold it?
Mm-hmm.
Who scores?
Okay.
It's got to be Kai Havertz, right?
Oh, yeah. Cup final. Kai Havertz. King Kai. Yeah. You're correct. King Kai. Sorry, King Kai.
Not as good as Kulusevski, Kai Havertz.
Has a European trophy, Kai Havertz.
That's where we're ending it. Not as good as Kulusevski, Kai Havertz. If you're still listening, we really appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. Hit us with that 5-star comment or 5-star review, subscribe, bell, thumbs up, whatever kind of thing that looks good on the platform that you're listening to. Do that thing to help us. Share it with a friend. That's really the biggest thing you could do to help us. Share it with a friend and give us some honest feedback, whether that's on YouTube or on Twitter. Hit us up there. You can find him. That's at KSBradG. That down there, he is at Whiteheart_Sean. I am at James Tiffany, and we collectively are at Redcard_Radio. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love for you to share it with a friend. But until next time, check out the North London Derby. Check out the FA Cup final this weekend. And that's what that's what I think you should do. But until next time, we will see you all later. Thanks for tuning in.